Ashley, you're very familiar with Donovan Peoples-Jones. You've covered him. There's an opportunity for him. Take us through the article you wrote, why you think he is built for times like this, and the opportunity that the Browns have waiting for him.
Yeah, for me, DPJ's always been somebody in his time with the Browns that I've been super interested in. He was this top prospect coming out of high school, Detroit Caz Tech up in Michigan. He was the number one wide receiver in the nation in his class. And then his college career just, I think, did not pan out the way anyone, including Donovan, thought it was going to, right? There were some fluke injuries, especially going from his sophomore year, which was his best year at Michigan, into his junior year. So you kind of start to look at his background and you realize this is somebody who was obsessed with football from the time they were a toddler. In the article I wrote, I talk about his favorite shirt was a Charlie Batch Lions jersey. This is a guy who would take his action figures and turn Batman and Superman into linemen and wide receivers running routes. So he has basically spent his whole life being ready for a moment like this to contribute on an NFL team. And obviously you look back at everything he went through to get drafted. This is somebody who thought, I have a chance to go somewhere in the first 4 rounds. And all of a sudden, 5 rounds pass you by and you're still on the board. And he's been very open and honest that was a difficult thing. He had worked his whole life to, potentially be a first round pick. And you hear people like Urban Meyer say that they think that's a possibility for him, that's what should happen, even though everyone, I think, right before the draft knew that wasn't going to happen. But still, high praise from a rival coach, one of the top coaches in the college game at the time there, from Urban Meyer. So I just have been so interested to figure out why he has found success in Cleveland, despite some of that adversity late in college, despite some of that draft day adversity, why it hasn't gotten to him, so to speak. And everyone around him who's known him from the time he was little to his high school days to his college days says that he was basically built for this, that he's just been waiting for the right environment, the right opportunity. And obviously with the AFC race as tight as it is right now, the Browns could certainly use some more big games from him coming up here down the stretch of the season.
Yeah, and if you're a DPJ, you know what? If you go out and you play like you're capable of playing like you played at parts of last year, in the last 5 games, none of that other stuff matters. You're going to end up as the number 1, number 2 wide receiver for the Browns moving forward. So there's a huge opportunity, and he has a chance to rewrite what he felt went wrong. So I think that's a valid point, and he's got to be looking at it as a huge opportunity because it's there.
Yeah, and that's basically what he told me, that he's just prepared for whatever's coming to him. And I think when I phrased the question to him, it was right after Odell Beckham Jr. had left Cleveland and we were talking about his role and if he was ready for something bigger. And he was just like, I'm just prepared to do whatever they need me to do. I want to be the best wide receiver I possibly can be. I want to make the big plays for my teammates. And he just really seems like a very team-oriented guy. And again, you look at his years at Michigan, there wasn't a lot of team success there either. Like we talk about his individual success when you look at those years, but Michigan wasn't playing for any Big Ten championships or national championships or things like that. His college career ended with a loss to Alabama in the Citrus Bowl. So I really just think he overall is really focused on doing what's best for this team. He knows he has an opportunity in front of him, but part of the reason why I think his ceiling is so high is because he doesn't let that sort of thing get to him, if you understand what I'm saying. Like he is not, I guess, intimidated by the opportunity in front of him.